But the second category, the special ones, they are fed up of passivity. They are fed up of monotony. They want change, and hence they contradict. Hence they oppose, they disagree. And the result is emergence of controversy. This disagreement, this contradiction, contradicting with the prevailing ideas, the result is a new trend, a new fashion, a new system, a new philosophy, a new ism. And what comes? A variety, a new addition, innovation comes. Innovation comes. The history of the world, the history of every civilization, every culture revolves around three words: thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Synthesis. To every thesis, there emerges an antithesis. And then we have the interaction between the thesis and the antithesis. And the result is emergence of a synthesis. Synthesis is novelty, a newness. And then after some time, synthesis is converted into a thesis. Against that thesis, an antithesis emerges. And the result is another synthesis, again something new. A new trend, a new fashion, a new idea, a new philosophy. And this is how history has been. Civilizations, cultures have been going on and on and on. The emergence of antithesis is not fixed. It may take years, it may take centuries, it may take centuries. But once a thesis starts prevailing, the moment a thesis appears, on the parallel line, antithesis makes its appearance as well. But antithesis takes time to fight against the thesis. It takes years, sometimes centuries. And this is how life has been going on, and all richness. Look at, life is a multi-shaded phenomenon. Life has become multifaceted, multicolored, multi-shaded. All newness. And in 20th century and 21st century, the two ages of science, of technology, of rationalism, thinking minds. Now, look at the speed of new trends. Whenever we wake up the next day, what we see, a new trend is there. What is new today becomes old, outdated tomorrow. And this is how life has been changing. Look at the fashions these days. Just a very simple example. You have your mobiles. You have your cars. You have your accessories. You have your dresses and ideas. Changing trends. The wink of an eye. All credit goes to controversy. All credit goes to those who oppose, who contradict, who disagree. But it's not a child's play to disagree. You need guts. You need nerves. You need solid arguments. You need the knowledge. It's very, very difficult job, a tough task to replace the prevailing trends with new ones. Very, very difficult. The toughest job in the world. What all the prophets did? They rebelled. They opposed the prevailing vicious social, political, moral, economic setup. They gave something new, something better, the best. And the result was the change, the positive change. A society which had been caught in a vicious circle, a society which was socially and morally chaotic, became an ideal society. And the credit, all credit goes to the great prophets. They contradicted what was prevailing. What they found, what was prevailing was wrong, was defective, was vicious, was sinister. They gave something new, better option. And when we go through the history of man, the secular history of man, in other words, instantly, who comes into our mind first of all? Socrates. Socrates. 2,500 years ago, born in Greece, a man with a reflective mind, a contemplative. He developed the habit of thinking and thinking deeply, meditation, contemplation. And what he found, the prevailing social and moral trends were defective, and the result was a born teacher, a born philosopher. He started teaching the Athenian youth, guiding them on the right track. And the result was what he did. He contradicted with the prevailing ethics. And the result was, whenever you contradict, the result is a rivalry, enmity, opposition. And this is what happened in the case of Socrates. The priest class turned against him, supported by the illiterate masses. And what the priest class wanted to bury down Socrates and his ideas, novel ideas. The result was a tussle, a war between two contrasting ideas. One which was prevailing and the new one given by Socrates. And what was the end? Socrates was given two options. Stop condemning their gods and goddesses. Stop injecting his ideas into the minds and hearts and souls of the Athenian youth. Or drink the cup of poison. The brave Socrates, he chose the second option. He drank the cup of poison and met his death. This is the price which every rebel has to give. Has to give. This is the price. The rebels, those who contradict, must be ready for anything. Bad to worse, worse to worst. Bad to worse, worse to worst. Anything under the sun can happen. They may be victorious, they may be the losers, but the winning and the losing are elusive. Elusive. What once Browning, the great English poet Robert Browning said, there is success in failure and failure in success. Apparently, Socrates was the loser. He met his death. But it was the death of the person, not the death of his ideas. His ideas flourished through his pupil, Plato. Now, there are two deaths. One is physical death. The other is intellectual and moral death. The intellectual and the moral death. In the case of physical death, you die once. In the case of intellectual and moral death, you die every second, you die every minute, every day.